the schoolhouse. We'll tell you about it later. First, we'll do a few old-time tunes on old-time instruments. I'm playing the hammer Dulcimer. She's playing the fiddle. We'll tell you about that in a while. And we're going to play this old tune that we play for dancing all the time called Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. Jingle bells, right? So, genuine 19th century song, and originally it was more of a Thanksgiving song, but now everything seems to get associated with Christmas. And found out recently that the bells on the horses and on the sleighs, those were a safety factor. A sleigh going through the snow was awfully quiet. Very easy to run somebody over, so the bells let you know the sleigh was coming. And I know there's talk of putting something like that on electric cars now.
Yeah, so, yeah. Jingle bells on cars.
Okay, so dashing through the snow, in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er fields we go, laughing all the way, bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright, what it is to ride. Everybody now. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Folks, a day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride. Soon Miss Mary bright came seated by my side, but that horse was mean and black. Misfortune. He ran into a drifting bank and I we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. One more time. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells.
the Sweets of May.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we're doing old-time music on old-time instruments. This is a hammered dulcimer. Hammered because you hammer it. Dulcimer is a Latin term with the root of dulce, meaning sweet. Dulcimer in Latin and psaltery or psalterion in Greek both refer to ancient types of harps. Why am I playing an ancient type of harp? Because here in North America, people were playing them from 1700 through the early 1900s. Then American music changed so much, these were out of fashion, and people who played these usually switched to drums. They're still well known in parts of the world, from Hungary out through Siberia. They have the term cymbal, cymbali, cymbala for these. In India, please don't use the cell phone light, it's blinding. Thank you. And in India and Iran, they have versions they call santur. There's a Chinese version called yangqing. The first time I ever saw one was in the movie Zorba the Greek. Shows you how old I am. And at the end, Anthony Quinn, pretending to be Greek, sits on a cliff top. He takes out his zanturi, so he's playing that. And we had a visitor from an island between Greek and Turkey where they kind of share the culture. And they have a version there that they call kanan or kanun. And that's one of the most ancient versions. Anyway, we're going to play an old English tune called The Sweets of May. Which still go on. We have a wonderful dance caller. You know, it's kind of like square dancing, except in lines instead of squares. So we do play at various museums or for various organizations. And we do the old-time dancing, kind of the way they did it back in the 1800s.
That Sweets of May has its own dance.
You know what? Let me get, how about doing John Brown's March?
And you want to play Buzz.
The sitter. Yeah.
Okay. So you may have to
pick.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I may have to
plenty of picks. They're all over the place.
Well, I keep losing them.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Oh, you have to explain that instrument.
Okay, so this is another old-time instrument. It's called a sitter. It's actually sold today with the weird name Irish bouzouki. It's not a bouzouki at all. Greek bouzouki's have gourd backs and they're skinnier. It's actually kind of like a large mandolin with a long neck. But these go back many centuries. Back in colonial times, taverns would often have some of these hanging on the wall, and people could take them down and play them to accompany songs or whatever. So we're going to do this old tune that we play for dances a lot called John Brown's March. Okay, so we'll get the
He's gonna
other,
do that for me.
the other old-timey
Now
instrument.
that's exotic.
This is an English concertina,
Uh-oh.
and it's related to accordions. These came before accordions. So these were invented by early 1800s English inventor Charles Wheatstone. I learned about him in engineering school as the inventor of something called the Wheatstone Bridge, which is not how you get to the Bronx. It was the first device that can accurately measure an electrical resistor. However, he was much more famous for these, and these were the most popular instruments in the 1800s. So, I thought I might do Old Lang Syne.
Oh, great!
So we're getting toward New Year, the New Year's Eve,
You can't just play
and
this
I'm
anytime.
going to do at least some of the original Robert Burns Scottish version of Old Lang Syne.
Listen very
And by the
carefully.
way, it's Old Lang Syne, not Syne. The phrase Old Lang Syne in Scots just literally means old long since, and it just means the old days. But if anybody wants to sing on the chorus,
We'll translate later if you like.
should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and old lang syne? And old lang syne, my Joe, and old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. We try here in a boot the brazen through the gardens fine, but we wandered many a weary fit, sing old lang syne. Sing old lang syne, my Joe, sing old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. We try here in the barn, the morning sun till dine, but seas between us gray they roar, sing old lang syne. Sing old lang syne, my Joe, sing old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. So there's a hand, my trusty fear, now he's a hand of mine. We'll tack a richt with Willie Waft for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my Joe, for old lang syne. We'll tack a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my Joe. So we're going to play an old-time dance tune that we play very often for old-time dances.
Wedding again.
Huh?
Here's to the wedding.
Okay, we're going to do an old tune called "Peace to the Wedding." It's an Irish jig, and we do a lot of Irish pieces, and this is one of our favorites. We play for dances all the time. We also use it when once March comes around. Our larger group does a number of concerts in libraries and other places with an Irish focus, so it gets used in that. Let's see, what else should we do?
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want to switch instruments?
Oh, I could.
Oh.
What are you thinking of?
Well, you want to take out the box.
Okay.
They call it a box. Sometimes they call it a box. Okay, hold it up, hold it up.
This is an English concertina. And these came before accordions, at least slightly. Invented, I think it was 1821, by Charles Wheatstone, famous English inventor. And they became extremely popular. This one is called, and quote, English concertina because of its tuning system. It's fully chromatic, and for each note, if I pull it or push it, I get the same note. And this copies the note range of the violin. Our friend Max down in the Schenk barn is playing the other kind of concertina called an Anglo or Anglo-German concertina. Works differently. It only works in a couple of keys easily, and you get a different note on the push and the pull. But this is kind of hefty. What do you think
want
of?
to do Ship New
Let's do this. We'll do an old nautical tune called the Ship New Rig. Song called Fiddler's Green, which is also the name of our larger band.
Yeah.
outside one evening so fair, to view the salt water and take the sea air. I heard an old fisherman singing a song. Won't you take me away, boys, my time isn't long. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper. No more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, oh shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Now Fiddler's Green is a place I've heard tell. Fishermen know when they don't go to hell. The skies are all clear and the dolphins do play, and the cold coast of Greenland is far, far away. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper. No more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old fishermates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green.
Get on the dockside.
You're right. When you get on the docks and the long trip is through. Well, there's clubs and there's museums too. Girls are all pretty and the beer is free. And there's cups of root beer for you and for me. Wrap me up in the oysters and jumper. No more hundred bucks I'll see. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Well, I don't want a harp nor a halo, not please. Just give me a ship and a good rolling sea. I'll play the old squeeze box as we sail along, with the wind in the rigging to swing this song. Wrap me up in the oilskins and jumper. No more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. Wrap me up in me oilskins and jumper. No more on the docks I'll be seen. Just tell me, old shipmates, I'm taking a trip, mates. I'll see you someday in Fiddler's Green. You want to tell them about Schoolhouse?
Oh, the common school. It wasn't quite to the point where it was a public school. A lot of it was paid for with taxes, but there was a tuition of $1.25 per year to students just to learn to read and write, and 50 cents more if you wanted to learn math. There was a loophole built in if you could not afford, if parents couldn't afford to send their kids to school, that they would have to make a public declaration of indigence, and
Nobody wanted to do that.
nobody wanted to do that, right? So they also had to keep a library for the entire school district, including the whole public. And this was it. That was it. Had a budget, $10 a year for for his books, and that was all I had. Okay. This is what they used. During the day, when we have visitors during the day, which of course we don't now, these are put out and everybody gets to play with these. Slate boards, they really did use slate until the kids got proficient enough to use paper because it was expensive. So this is how they learned. This is not chalk, this is actually a piece of slate. Chalk was too expensive. So we have to count our blessings. 63% or so of the teachers were men, but it was one of the few occupations that there was for women. Women, however, received half the salary what men received.
Men got $15 a month, and women got half of that.
Yeah, and if a woman got married, she lost her job.
She lost her job?
She was expected to stay home, make babies, and take care of the house.
Yes, yes, which was quite a job then. But the chairs, if you notice, the seats here are graduated. They're the smallest ones in the front and the largest ones in the back. I like it when sometimes a really tall guy comes in and sits down in the front. And the kids were around between the ages of maybe 5 and 12. And they were all in the same room. So they used what was called the Lancaster system, or Lancastrian system, where the teacher would teach the youngest kids, and when they became proficient enough and got older, they would teach the ones younger than them. So it was done like that's actually a very good system if you have to teach so many age groups. So that was
And did you mention that the kids would come sporadically
Yes.
when they could?
They came sporadically. The school was open from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and half of Saturday. But that didn't mean they would necessarily show up all those days because it was a farming community. Those of you who are Long Islanders, or at least Long Islanders for a while, and if you're old enough, you might remember that there were still, in Nassau County, there were still a lot of farms, back in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, when Mary and I were both young, back in the 1950s-ish, both of our neighborhoods were surrounded by potato fields at the time.
Yeah, potatoes were
Long
very big
time
on
ago.
Long Island, a lot of potato farms. So the kids would be needed, as soon as they could, they would start helping on the farms. And if they weren't needed then they could go to school. So going to school was actually like a good thing for the kids. They enjoyed it because it wasn't as hard as working on school.
Yep. So, well, I think we have a lot more people waiting, so we're going to thank you for coming.